Interior Design at GSA. Vectorworks. Textures. Part 1. Applying textures, editing textures.
So what we're going to have a look at now is texture, colours and materials. I've got a simple drawing here with one cube, which is 2 meters by 2 meters by 2 meters, and one sphere which has a diameter of 2 meters also, just as two shapes to give us something to apply some materials to. So initially we can select an object and we can use the attributes palette to give it a fill colour, and we can also choose classic Vectorworks colours, standard Vectorworks colours. We can pick any colour with the colour picker, and we can even pick a colour with the magnifying glass there, so we can select a colour from another open document or image on our computer. So that's two objects, two different colours, currently looking in OpenGL. We'll render that in Final Quality RenderWorks, and you see that perfect smooth sphere, and the rectangle looks perfectly nice. The limitation with the attributes palette is that it only chooses a colour. You can't deal with texture, reflectivity or transparency. In order to deal with those aspects, we need to create a resource and apply this to the object itself. So we're going to go to the resource browser, and I'm going to go to resources, and I'm going to do a new resource in textures. The file's called textures, and I want a RenderWorks texture. Click on that and we get a new dialog box where we can create a texture. So name texture 1, I'm going to stick with that for now, and at the moment I'm going to just choose a plain colour. I'm going to select plain colour, click OK, and we can see that represented in the preview window. I'm going to give it a little bit of reflectivity and also a bit of transparency, and I want to preview this on a cube rather than a flat plane, and I'm going to click OK. I'm going to apply that texture by dragging and dropping it onto the sphere. So now in OpenGL we get a strange transparent effect, but then when we do Final Quality RenderWorks we get quite a nice effect to that sphere. I'm going to create a new texture, new RenderWorks texture in textures, and this time I'm going to choose we can choose any of these. So let's have a look at paving. As with any of the options, when the edit button is available, you can edit the individual components, including the colour in this instance, smoothness, shape variation. So make a bit smoother, a bit less variation. Click OK and you should see that effect in the preview window. Now it's important at this stage to note the preview option. So this is currently being previewed on an object 20mm by 20mm. So the shape we're working on is 2 meters by 2 meters, so we may as well preview it at that size, which now means I want to change the size of the texture until it looks a little bit more like I'm expecting it to look. I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to go to the object info and render, and I'm going to select the texture in the window there. Now when we go to Final Quality RenderWorks, we should see that rendered up as we'd expect to see that. Having created the texture, I can now edit the texture. I'm going to right click on there, select edit, and maybe we want to change the colour of the paving that we've got. That instantly updates the objects that we've applied the material to.